Hello, all my fellow gamers and horror film fans. I'm Mike C, and welcome into the Chrono Cabin. I hope you're all enjoying your Halloween season. I hope you're getting ready to carve those pumpkins and continue to watch those horror movies. I thought I would do a video on 3 horror genre games that are great to play this time of year, and they're relatively on the short end, so they don't require a lot of commitment, so you can easily jump into these games. Now, you can play these games any time of year, but particularly around Halloween, if you want to kind of get into that Halloween spirit, these 3 games should help you out immensely. The first one is called Until Dawn. This game is where a group of college students get together and they go up to this relatively empty ski lodge. I mean, there's no one there, literally. And they're going there to spend the weekend with each other, and it's the anniversary, the 1-year anniversary of their friend's disappearance. Kind of an odd thing to do on the anniversary of your friend's disappearance, I realize, but hey, it leads for a great story, right? Because obviously eerie things start happening, and they realize they are not alone. Now, this is a game that came out in 2015, but I do think it holds up. It really does look good on the PS4 and the PS5. Looks great on both systems. And it is largely based on what we call the butterfly effect. Butterfly effect is where changes in a small condition in one area can lead to variations or alterations of a condition in another area. Now, that's a very simplistic way of describing this, and there's a lot of explanation of the butterfly effect out there. It's actually a very interesting concept. But essentially what it is if a butterfly flaps its wings in one part of the world, it can cause a chain reaction that can cause a hurricane in another part of the world. So it's a really cool concept, and they actually even mention it in this game. But in this game, it relates to your decision making. The decisions you make in this game actually determine who's going to live. So actually this game does have a little bit of replay value because you can have different outcomes based on the decisions that you make in this game. Now, because this is a horror adventure game, there's not a lot of action in the game. This is more based on decisions that you make. It's very heavy in story, and it's very immersive in the story. So it's really like you're playing a horror movie, which is something great to do around Halloween. I really do like the story in this game, and there's a really creepy ambience, and hey, you'll even recognize some actors. You can get through this game in about 10 hours, so it's not really much of a commitment. And if you're really looking for something to kind of get you into the Halloween spirit, this is a great game to jump into. The next game I want to talk about is Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. I actually started Resident Evil Village, but before I got into the game, I was prompted with a notice saying, do you want to watch the end of Resident Evil 7? Because the story picks up from when Resident Evil 7 left off. And then I thought to myself, well, I could do that, but you know what? Why not just play the game? I mean, I think it'd be more interesting to actually play Resident Evil 7 and then play Resident Evil 8. So I went ahead and I just started playing Resident Evil 7, and I was not sorry. This game was great. I really enjoyed Resident Evil 7. It is a fantastic game. I mean, it is creepy. It is dark. It's a nice amount of action and a nice amount of puzzle. And in fact, in this game, the bosses are actually kind of difficult. Now, I played the game on normal, and I struggled with a few of the bosses, but I'm not exactly a great gamer.
I think you're a better gamer than I am. I get all the buttons mixed up.
Well, thank you, Billy. That's nice of you to say. Yeah, Billy, I have to get him smaller controllers, you know. Anyway, I actually laughed at myself at how many times I kind of jumped in this game. But this is like a fantastic game to play any time of year, but especially around Halloween. It takes place in Louisiana, and you're in this very dilapidated house. I mean, the setting alone is just very creepy. And what's even better about this game, if you've never played any Resident Evil games, you can jump into Resident Evil 7. And it's not like you're gonna miss any past plot. I mean, this game is very well contained on its own. And if you're waiting to get a PS5 to play Village, which you can also play on PS4, but if you want to wait for a PS5 to play Resident Evil Village just to kind of get that extra edge from the game, then this is a great game to play in the meantime, because this game does lead into the next game. I've heard of people getting through this game in under 10 hours, and in fact, there's even a trophy that I saw where you can get through this game in 3 hours. I think that's insane, but for me, it took me about 13 hours to pass. So again, it's not a large commitment. Now, I usually do this when I'm talking about horror films, but let's do this for this video game. So, on a scale of 1 to 5, on the creepy factor, what say the Chrono Cabin algorithm on this one? Yeah, a 5, and believe me, that's rare. This is a very creepy game to play. It is very dark, it is very scary. Some of these bosses are just hideous looking, and there's a lot of creatures in between, and I just love it. So I think you would really enjoy this game. Again, if you've never played Resident Evil before, you could easily jump into this game. And I think this is a great game too, even if you played it before, to replay. I think this game has a lot of replay value. In fact, after I finish Resident Evil Village, which I really enjoy, I might go back and replay Resident Evil 7. All in all, great vibe for this time of year, and it's a fun playthrough. And it's really engaging. The story is really engaging, and it leads you really nice into Resident Evil Village. The last game I want to talk about is Alan Wake, the remaster. And I have already done a longer video on this. You can check that video out if you want. So I won't go too far into Alan Wake, the remake, but I have mentioned this in my other video, but this is a first time playthrough for me. So I'm actually kind of glad that I've never played the game, because I'm experiencing it for the first time, but I've been enjoying it. I'm glad it came out early in the month, so I've had some time to kind of get into it. This is a great horror survival game, and it's really, really rich in story, and I really do think they did a nice job on the remaster of all the environments. Really fantastic. I haven't finished it yet, but I know that you can probably finish this game in 10 to 13 hours. So again, it's not much of a commitment, but it really is that perfect game to kind of get you into the Halloween spirit. I mean, you could play this any time of year, but now is a great time, right? Because Halloween is right around the corner. This is a very Stephen King-like story to play. So if you're looking for kind of a creepy game to play right now and you've never played this before, this is an obvious choice. If you have played this game before, I don't know, you haven't played it in a lot of years, I think it has some kind of replay value, sure. It's hard for me to say again because I'm playing it for the first time through, but I am thoroughly enjoying it. That about does it for this episode of the Chrono Cabin. If you like my channel, everyone, please subscribe. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. You can always ring that bell for future notifications whenever I release new content. And as always, everyone, keep playing those video games, especially the horror ones. Keep watching those horror movies, and I will see you soon.